Have you ever awakened one morning and felt that something inside you had shifted forever? A strange clarity, a quiet knowing, a feeling that the world around you is not the same as it was yesterday. The colors seem sharper. Conversations feel heavier. People you once trusted now feel distant, almost unfamiliar. And suddenly, you begin to sense something deeper, something Alan Watts spoke about again and again. Awakening is not just the opening of the eyes. It is the opening of the soul. And when your soul opens, it starts recognizing energies, intentions, and truths you were once blind to. You begin to see the people who drain you. You begin to see the ones who pretend to understand you. And most painfully, you begin to see that awakening requires distance. Because not everyone around you is growing. Not everyone wants clarity. And not everyone wants you to wake up. For the next 60 seconds, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is not meant to scare you. It is meant to protect you. According to the teachings inspired by Alan Watts, the journey of awakening is not about becoming better than others. It is about becoming aware of yourself. But with awareness comes responsibility. And with responsibility comes a difficult choice, deciding who cannot walk with you anymore. There are 5 types of people who will block your awakening, drain your energy, and pull you back into the very illusions you worked so hard to escape. Some of these people may be in your life right now. Some may even be close to your heart. But awakening demands honesty, and honesty demands boundaries. What you are about to hear may feel uncomfortable. It may feel heavy, but it will set you free. So breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Let your mind settle and allow the truth to reveal itself. Now let us begin. Awakening is a quiet revolution inside the human mind. You stop reacting to life and begin observing it. The world no longer pulls you like a puppet on invisible strings. Instead, you stand with a new awareness, watching people as if seeing them for the very first time. Their intentions become clear. Their patterns become visible. Their energy becomes readable. And that is precisely when you begin to understand that not everyone around you has the capacity to grow with you. The first type of person you must avoid after awakening is the one Alan Watts would have described as the unconscious reactor. This person lives entirely in the world of automatic responses. Their emotions rise and fall like violent storms, and everyone around them gets pulled into their turbulence. When you awaken, your inner world becomes peaceful, still, almost like a quiet lake. But reactive people see that calmness as a threat. When they talk to you, they expect you to match their chaos. When they argue, they expect you to fight back. When they panic, they want you to drown with them. They cannot understand your silence, so they attack it. They cannot understand your awareness, so they mock it. And they cannot understand your peace, so they try to destroy it. These are the people who live in a constant state of emotional emergency. They feed off drama, conflict, and noise. They're always angry at something, always blaming someone, always running from themselves. When you awaken, you naturally detach from that cycle, but they will try to pull you back in, not because they are evil, but because they cannot survive without chaos. And your peace exposes the truth they are afraid to face, that their suffering is not caused by the world. It is caused by themselves. To protect your awakening, you must distance yourself from such people. Their storms are not your responsibility, and your silence is not their enemy. The awakened mind does not fight chaos. It simply refuses to participate in it. The second type of person you must avoid is the energy thief. This person may seem calm on the surface, polite, even friendly, but underneath, they carry an empty space inside them that they constantly try to fill with your energy. Alan Watts often explained that human beings are full of illusions about who they are. Some people escape themselves by trying to become someone else, or by attaching themselves to someone who feels stronger. These energy thieves gravitate toward awakened individuals because they sense something powerful in you, a light, a clarity, a groundedness they have never experienced. And instead of developing it within themselves, they try to take it from you. This can appear in subtle ways. They always come to you when they feel lost, but disappear when you need help. They talk endlessly about their problems, but never listen to yours. They expect you to calm them, guide them, fix them, validate them, and slowly, without realizing it, they drain your emotional and spiritual energy. After a conversation with them, you feel exhausted. After spending time with them, you feel heavy. Awakening sharpens your sensitivity to energy, and you begin to feel this drain more intensely. It is not your responsibility to carry someone who refuses to walk. Every awakened soul must learn a painful truth. You cannot save people who are committed to staying where they are, and you cannot heal people who use your light as a way to avoid their own darkness. The third type of person you must avoid after awakening is the one who fears your transformation. This is often the most painful one to distance yourself from, because these individuals may have been close to you for years. They might genuinely care for you, love you, or share a long history with you. But they fear change. An awakening is the greatest change a person can undergo. When you begin to grow, they begin to feel threatened, not because you are hurting them, but because your transformation forces them to confront something they have been avoiding: their own stagnation. Alan Watts often reminded us that people cling to their familiar sense of self because it feels safe, even if it is painful. They fear anything that challenges their identity, and your awakening does exactly that. These people will subtly try to bring you back to who you used to be. They may say things like, "You've changed," or "You're being different," or "Why are you acting like this now?" The words are not meant to support you, but to pull you back into the role they are comfortable with. They want the old version of youth, predictable, familiar version. The version that did not question anything, that accepted everything, and that fit neatly into the box they had created. But awakening destroys boxes. It opens the mind. It expands the soul. It transforms every part of who you are. And some people simply cannot handle that. They will try to guilt you, confuse you, discourage you, or make you doubt your own growth. What you must understand is this: their resistance has nothing to do with you. It is their fear speaking. When you grow, they see everything they have not done. When your mind expands, they feel their own limitations. And when you become aware, they feel exposed. They fear losing you, but even more than that, they fear facing themselves. The awakened must learn to walk away, not out of anger, but out of compassion. Your growth is not a betrayal. It is a necessity. And anyone who tries to stop your evolution is someone you must step away from, at least until they are ready to grow themselves. The fourth type of person you must avoid after awakening is the pretender. This one is the most difficult to recognize because their disguise is convincing. They may appear spiritual, wise, or awaken themselves. They talk about energies, consciousness, mindfulness, philosophy. They use beautiful words and deep concepts, but their actions betray them. Alan Watts often spoke about the danger of confusing spiritual language with spiritual understanding. Many people learn to mimic the vocabulary of awareness long before they embody it. Pretenders want admiration, not growth. They seek the image of being awakened without doing the inner work. They collect spiritual quotes the way others collect material possessions. Their ego hides behind the mask of enlightenment. These are the people who will try to outdo you in wisdom, compete with you in understanding, and subtly make you feel inferior in your own awakening. They will tell you how you should awaken, how you should meditate, how you should think, how you should behave. Their entire identity is built on sounding awakened rather than being awakened. And when they meet someone who is genuinely growing, their ego feels threatened. They may criticize you for not being spiritual enough or for not awakening in the right way. They may pretend to guide you while secretly wanting to dominate you. Pretenders are dangerous not because they are evil, but because they disguise ego as enlightenment. An ego wearing the costume of spirituality is far more deceptive than ego wearing its usual face. The awakened journey requires honesty, humility, and authenticity. Pretenders drain all three. Their presence fills the space with artificial wisdom, not genuine insight. And if you remain close to them for too long, you start doubting your own inner voice. You start thinking you're behind or not doing enough. But awakening is not a competition. It is not a performance. It is not a race. It is simply the unfolding of your own awareness in your own time. Protect it, guard it, and distance yourself from anyone who tries to turn it into a display. Now we arrive at the fifth type of person, perhaps the most important of all, the manipulator of your inner peace. This person does not attack you with noise, nor drain you with neediness, nor resist your growth out of fear, or confuse you with spiritual pretension. Instead, they use your awakening against you. They twist your peace into weakness, your compassion into vulnerability, your silence into permission. They know you strive to be calm, patient, understanding, and aware, and they exploit it. Alan Watts warned about this subtle danger. When you awaken, you become more forgiving, more gentle, more aware of the suffering of others. But manipulators see this not as wisdom, but as an opportunity. They may cross boundaries and then say, "I thought you were spiritual." They may disrespect you and then claim you should be above getting upset. They may take advantage of your kindness and call it being at peace. These people use your awakening as a weapon, a way to control your reactions. They know you do not want conflict, so they create situations where you are forced to choose between your peace and your self-respect. But here lies the greatest truth of all. True awakening is not passive. It is not silent suffering. It is not letting people walk over you in the name of calmness. Real awakening comes with discernment. It comes with boundaries that are unshakable. It comes with the ability to say no with complete peace. Protect your inner space. Not everyone deserves access to it. Awakening is not a destination. It is a continuous unfolding of understanding, a deepening of perception, shift from living unconsciously to witnessing life with clarity. But clarity also reveals shadows. It shows you what was always there but hidden behind noise, emotions, and attachments. As your awareness expands, the people around you are seen in their true form, without the filters that once protected your illusions. Some will shine brighter, others will fade, and a few will become too heavy to carry. That is not cruelty. That is evolution. Alan Watts often explained that human beings suffer not because life is complicated, but because they cling to people and identities that no longer align with who they are becoming. Awakening forces you to let go, not out of bitterness, but out of necessity. You cannot fly while holding on to the anchors you once called comfort. You cannot become your higher self while remaining trapped in the patterns of your older self. And you cannot rise into clarity while dragging the weight of other people's unconsciousness. Every awakened soul must eventually confront this truth. Growth is lonely. Awakening is not always celebrated, and light will always disturb the eyes of those who prefer the dark. But your responsibility is not to make others comfortable. Your responsibility is to honor your own inner transformation. There will be moments when you question yourself, moments when you wonder if distancing from these 5 types of people makes you selfish. But understand this: protecting your energy is not selfish. Preserving your peace is not selfish. Guarding your awareness is not selfish. It is an act of respect for the journey you are on. Some people are meant to walk with you only for a chapter. Some are meant to teach you lessons through pain. Some help you awaken. Others wake you even further by leaving. And a few remain, evolving with you, matching your energy, expanding beside you. Those are the ones you keep. But the rest you release, gently and without resentment. Because awakening is not about separation and anger. It is about differentiation and consciousness. You are simply shifting to a frequency they are not ready to reach. As you continue on this path, you'll realize something beautiful. the more you distance yourself from the people who drain you, the more your inner space becomes available for those who nourish you. The more you step away from noise, the more you hear your own voice. The more you detach from chaos, the more peace finds you. This peace is not passive. It is powerful. It does not rely on others. It does not depend on validation. It is the natural state of an awakened mind, one that has released the unnecessary weight of others' expectations and emotional burdens. Alan Watts often described enlightenment as the simple recognition that you are not separate from the universe. You are a movement within it. Awakening aligns you with this truth, and as you align, you begin to feel the difference between relationships that expand you and those that shrink you. You begin to sense who resonates with your growth and who resists it. You recognize who brings clarity and who brings confusion. And once you see these truths, you cannot unsee them. You may still care for the people you distance yourself from. You may still love them. Awakening does not erase compassion. It deepens it. But compassion without boundaries becomes self-sabotage. Awareness without protection becomes vulnerability. And peace without discernment becomes weakness. The awakened soul learns balance. You can love someone from afar. You can forgive without allowing access. You can understand someone without letting them influence your path. This is maturity. This is awareness. This is what awakening looks like in real life, not in philosophy books or spiritual quotes. The universe does not require you to abandon the world. It requires you to stop abandoning yourself. When you allow chaotic people, draining people, fearful people, pretenders, and manipulators to occupy your inner space, you diminish your own consciousness. And consciousness is the most sacred thing you possess. Protect it. Prioritize it. Honor it. The journey of awakening is not about becoming untouchable or isolated. It is about becoming internally aligned, emotionally sovereign, and spiritually grounded. Soon, you will see that the purpose of avoiding these 5 types of people is not to create distance from the world, to bring you closer to yourself. Awakening is the art of returning to your true nature, a nature that has always existed beneath the layers of conditioning, fear, and detachment. As Alan Watts said, you are not a stranger in this universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. Your relationships should reflect this truth, not distort it. So, as you move forward, carry this one understanding. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into your awakening. Some are only meant to be part of the dream you have now awakened from. Wish them well, release them gently, and continue walking. There is more ahead. More clarity, more peace, more depth, more versions of yourself waiting to be discovered. Awakening is the beginning of a new life. Protect it, honor it, and never apologize for choosing your inner evolution over external expectations. The path ahead may be quiet at times, but in that quiet, you will find the most powerful truth of all. Your soul has always known the way. And now, finally, you are listening.